Welcome back to Turnbuckle Time Machine. I'm Don. There's my buddy Rick.
Hey guys
This is a very
and
exciting day.
girls.
Pardon me.
I said guys and girls.
All right.
You never.
Thanks for
You
interrupting
might
me
have
for
girls
that.
watching.
That was awesome.
You know,
Okay. Anyways.
I want to be politically correct.
Okay, now how'd you like to politically shut up so I can finish this? Okay. Very excited about today, or was excited. We are branching off from we're still
I'm so
doing the
excited.
documentaries, but we're introducing something new. We're gonna call it Epic Feud. We talked about it last video. And man, we got a banger today.
Oh,
Let's get this thing started.
notch,
What's that? Are
top
you gonna keep
notch.
cutting me off the whole fucking thing or what?
I can't say I won't.
Okay. Anyways, what we
Yeah.
got here is two men who weren't just battling for a championship. They single-handedly defined an entire wrestling era. You had the flashy, untouchable Ric Flair against your blue-collar warrior, Dusty Rhodes, and together they built must-see wrestling drama. Let's get into it right after this.
Shadows in the smoke, 4 fingers in the air. That's the code, style and wow. Limousine, riding with the horsemen on the screen. Way, Turnbuckle Time Machine. Every clip's a backroom dream. From the past to the live stream glow. We rewind and we steal the show.
So, I'm going to just start off quickly. This was your classic good versus evil feud. And I think that's what made it so good. You had Dusty Rhodes, who was your hardworking, middle-class, everyday man. And he was taking on Mr. Luxury there, Ric Flair, who spent the money and got all the girls. And just two opposites right across the spectrum. Didn't like each other. This was Rick's pick. I think it was an excellent pick. And I'm going to let him take it from here.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for noticing the excellent pick that I picked.
No, so I'm not interrupting you, eh?
We're still early. Anyways, it's not really interrupting. It's me being spontaneous.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna go now. Two different characters all together. Started off as innocent enough as, Flair was in a match and he was getting the crap kicked out of him. And Dusty Rhodes, being the guy he is, ran into the ring like he did with many other wrestlers. And he tried to help Flair. And Flair showed his admiration and that by teaming up with the people there and kicking the shit out of him and actually broke his leg. And that started everything. That also started the formation of the Four Horsemen.
Okay, I got to interrupt for a second, if you don't mind.
See?
That's
You're being
not where it
spontaneous.
started. That's where it continued. It started in June of 1981 in Kansas City when Flair beat Rhodes for the championship. Go.
Well, you threw me off there. Anyways, it was because of this, eventually, that the Four Horsemen, once Ric Flair won the title, they formed the Four Horsemen, and I believe in our last podcast, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, you'll correct me on that. He basically formed the Horsemen to help him keep his title.
Well, I will correct you on that. It wasn't the last podcast. It was a few podcasts ago.
Well, yeah, okay. I sometimes am so spontaneous that I lose track of time and events. But yes, thank you very much, Don, for correcting me on that.
Well, I think I'm gonna have a busy day today.
Yeah, you might. Anyways, the feud was so great. It actually helped benefit when these matches were on TV because they helped the revenue, like off the chart revenue.
Crazy money.
What's that?
It was crazy
easy
money
because and they had some really good matches. The one that impressed me the most, and I think you'll agree with me finally on this one, is the Iron Man match they had back at Starrcade in '85, 60-minute Iron Man match. Now, when I say it was impressive, Ric Flair had done 60-minute matches a lot of time. His cardio was off the chart. But anybody who knows Dusty Rhodes, they wouldn't have called him the guy who looked like he was in the peak condition.
Yeah,
But he was.
he didn't
His
look like
size was very, very, very misleading.
he didn't look like he could do a 5-minute match.
No, so for him to go 60 minutes was an accomplishment in itself. But the one thing that they said, which was I found really, really funny when I read this, is they were always trying to outdo each other. Flair bought a house.
Yes.
Flair bought a house. Dusty Rhodes bought a bigger house. The funniest part was Ric Flair had a Mercedes, and Dusty Rhodes got a Mercedes. The only problem was he was too big and couldn't fit in it.
But he still bought it.
One. But he still bought it because that was the kind of rivalry they had.
Yeah,
and I was always going to outdo each other. And
so it was absolute pissing contest on everything.
Oh yeah, and to watch them fight, and I'm sure that Donnie, as always Donnie does, is going to add some banger matches on here for us to enjoy. I'm going to go watch them, even though I've seen them a million times. I'll see them 1,000,001 times. I'll probably go back. I know, not probably. I will go back and watch these matches again because they were any ones that you pick, Donnie. I don't know which ones you're going to pick, but I know they're all going to be bangers because I really don't believe that Flair and Dusty Rhodes ever had a bad match.
No, I'm gonna. I'll talk about the matches at the end. I really had a hard time. For some reason, there wasn't a lot of full matches posted, but I was able to put, I think, a pretty good compilation together. Anyways, let's get back to just some of the things that were important about this feud. For example, you got your, was it Magnum TA?
Yeah.
He owes his career to this feud.
Oh, definitely.
Because
definitely,
if he wasn't brought into Dusty Rhodes' group, what was his group called again?
It was called Risky Business.
It was called
the Road. It was the Road Warriors, the Rock and Roll Express, Magnum TA, and Nikita Koloff.
Yeah, it was actually called the Risky Business Boys. You were close.
Oh, okay.
But let me correct me again. But
you're on a roll. Jeez,
this is my day today. But
don't get motion sick.
So if it was because Magnum TA was included in that faction, that he had one of the matches that people are still talking about today was the I Quit match with Magnum TA and Rick Rude.
Yeah.
No,
was it Rick Rude?
Tully Blanchard.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So yeah, so that was if he wasn't included in this group involved with some of the things that they were pulling off, he would have just been your average mid-carder. That was it.
Yeah.
So that was important. You were talking about just how much money it brought in. Like this was bringing in crazy money.
Yeah.
So and yes, so and because Rick had his stable, it also caused Dusty to form his own stable.
Yeah.
What I'm going to tell you, spoiler alert. One of the matches I have on at the end, the last match I picked was the War Games match.
Flair's I was going to say you have to have that
against Dusty Rhodes' stable. So,
yeah.
But anyways, we'll talk about that afterwards. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing? That they proved how to do a match like that properly. Yeah. Well, like you said, it was he helped Magnum TA and because Magnum TA had a feud with Tully Blanchard and even I mean they helped each other. Dusty Rhodes helped Magnum TA. When Magnum TA got injured with this match because of a match with Tully Blanchard, they came out and they had Tully and Blanchard came out and attacked him, and Dusty Rhodes came to his aid and ended up injuring Tully Blanchard's leg with the help of Magnum TA. But again, that's the reason I'm bringing that up is like you said, he really, really helped Magnum TA. If it hadn't been for Dusty Rhodes and his association, there's no way he would have got. I mean, he was good looking and he was a good wrestler, but having that having that association really, really, really made his career fly. And yeah, just memorable matches. And even though they had some bloody matches, Ric Flair, all you have to do is blow on him and he used to bleed, and Dusty was the same thing. They always had bloody matches. But the people, they always left the people wanting more. And but there was that mutual respect there that they had. And after, in between the feud, I think they basically feuded and then made up and feuded and made up. There's a couple times where they actually teamed up and were a good team, and then
something happened. Yeah,
something happened and they went at each other again. But no, you won't find, in my eyes, you won't find a better, more exciting feud than Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, and it basically set the stage for what feuds are and should be. Because some of the feuds now these days, they're lame. Lame. But that's a discussion for another day. I'm so glad that we were able to do this as our actually inaugural first feud podcast. It was just fun to actually do the research on it, and a lot of it brought back memories, even though I got some of the dates wrong.
Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to.
That's why you're here, Donnie, to just to let everybody know. No, he's fucking up, but I'll unfuck everything. Yeah, but that's good.
That's how it works. Yeah. Okay.
That's how it works.
So yeah, there were some important points there. It is true. Like, okay, so they weren't their first feud ever. Let's not play with that. Okay.
No.
Because people have been wrestling for 100 years. But they were the first significant feud that really got the attention and drew in a lot of money. Therefore, that made them the blueprint for future feuds. Well, that's hard to say. And
that hurt me.
And even while that one was going, and even afterwards, any feuds that happened after that, which would include some of the people in these groups, were all based on what they did with that first feud. They try to recreate it again nowadays, but the problem is that WWE either fucks up the story or spends too much time on it, or doesn't spend it, or puts no build into it and just throws something together. You have to have something significant happen.
Yeah.
And then organically let it grow, let it carry on. Not like what happened with Roman Reigns and Fatu. That was a joke. Like, that could have gone on so much. Anyways, we're not here to.
That's a discussion for another day, but we will discuss that down the road.
Yeah, we aren't here to bash WWE again, although it's so easy, and talk about that shit. But
let's not ruin a good thing.
And an indication of first of all, let's talk about how the feud wound down, because we didn't even touch on how it wrapped up. So in 1986, July, Dusty Rhodes beat Flair for what he called was the big gold belt. He held that for 14 days. Congratulations, Dusty. That was quite an accomplishment. And then after that, we had War Games, which brought all the two factions together. That basically wound this whole thing down organically, like I was talking about. And an indication of they look like they hate each other on screen, but the kind of friends they were is that before Dusty Rhodes passed away in 2015, Flair went to actually see him in person, and they had their final conversations, and they're actually pretty good friends. So again,
sorry, go ahead.
Again, that's like showing the kind of entertainers they are, that they can show that much hate on screen that they actually break someone's leg. But good buddies. All right, go ahead.
All I was going to say is at the Hall of Fame, wasn't it Ric Flair that inducted him in with a speech?
I think it was in 2004.
Yeah, he was the one, and you could really tell Because from what
No.
I believe,
Sorry, that was
he
someone else.
didn't. Oh,
No, I'm saying I'm wrong on the 2004. That was somebody else.
okay.
I don't know. You keep talking, I'll find out when he was in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Like I said, I know they were really good friends, and even after Dusty passed, anytime Ric Flair talked about him, he got very emotional about it because there was even though they were mortal enemies and everything that I said earlier, there was that mutual respect they had for each other that I don't think Ric Flair ever had any more respect for. Even guys in the Horsemen, I don't think he had as much respect for as he did Dusty Rhodes.
2007.
2007, and it was Ric Flair who inducted him, correct?
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
it
it would
was.
have had to be. It would have been too early for
No,
Cody.
no, he was inducted by his two sons, Dustin and Cody.
Oh, really?
Are
Oh,
you
okay.
are you planning on getting anything right today?
Yeah. Um, the feuds were great.
Oh, you got that going for you.
I got. I do have that going for me.
Um,
Well, every so often, some people get so enthusiastic, like myself, and spontaneous that sometimes they make minor faux pas here and there. But that's what you're around for.
yeah, or glaring errors. Let's not
Yeah,
split
well, that
hairs.
was like the time you called Nikita Koloff Nikolai Koloff, and I didn't say nothing about that because
That's just a little one.
actually I didn't know you said it until I actually watched the video later. And I went, you said Nikolai. Who cares though, right? It's minor
It's just
stuff.
a small one.
That's a small faux pas,
Uh,
and this is what we love about this is what makes, I believe, what makes our podcast and that different than everybody else's. We do make mistakes. We're human.
yep,
Um,
we do.
we're only human.
Good. Now
Yeah, we're
okay, Elvis. Now we're going to carry on.
okay.
Okay. So,
Go give me some. I'll sing Kansas if you keep that up. Carry on, okay?
all right. Okay. Why we're touching on these feuds and we're expanding into feuds. First of all, there's so many good ones, but
Oh yeah.
But second of all, they're so important. They're so important. If you just didn't create a feud between the people involved, it was it's like a mushroom cloud going and
Mhm.
going. All right, you want me to talk
Yeah.
about the matches that I got?
Yeah, I would love to hear about them.
Okay. Well, if you're planning on watching them, you're going to be a busy boy. Because
I
one
plan
of
on
them,
watching them
well,
all again.
okay, so the first one I got is the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes, Night of Champions, December 29th, 1985. If you want to know who won, watch the video.
Yeah.
Now, the next one is kind of tricky for me because I wanted a specific match in there and I couldn't get it. And it was from Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair, Great American Bash, 1986 Steel Cage match, Tampa, Florida. Problem is, like I said, I couldn't get the individual match, so I just loaded up the whole card.
Yeah.
So, so it's about 2 hours and 40 minutes long. If you don't want to
So
watch
you
the whole
grab your
thing,
favorite beverage and some popcorn and maybe a couple of burgers, and you make yourself comfortable.
but if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just fast forward. It's the last match.
But really, you should watch it
Yeah,
because then you're going to see what real good wrestling is
yeah,
compared to what crap's out there today.
yeah. Like honestly, if you got the time to watch the whole thing, do it.
Do it.
And the final one was the War Games, July 4th, 1987, with two factions taking on each other. So those are the three matches that I'm going to add in the description. Get the time, watch them. I think you're going to enjoy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I really had a hard time. I don't know if it's a copyright thing or what the hell's going on there,
Yeah, you got to be careful of that.
but
Sometimes
there
they
was
do it.
very few full matches of anything between Flair and Rhodes. So I actually spent a couple hours searching for it this morning, just because I like to. Before I talk about what I have, I like to make sure I can get them right.
Yeah, that's always important. You know,
So yeah, so I think we're done for today. Anything else you want to add, Rick?
No, it's just I think as far as our inaugural podcast regarding feuds, we picked a banger. You have to. I mean, really, if you're going to start off a thing like we're doing with feuds, you have to start off with Dusty Rhodes
Well, you
and
got
Ric Flair. You just have to. There's anything else is criminal if you start out with anything else but that one. And I'm glad we did. And we got a lot more that are going to be down the road. Donnie's pick is next. It'll be interesting to see what Donnie picks.
Well, you're going to find
for our
out
next
real
feud.
soon,
Like how soon?
like within a minute.
Woo.
Okay, so I do have the next pick. Before Rick gets too excited, it's not a feud this time. It's an individual. I'm going to probably pick a feud on my next pick. But the reason why I picked this, as I was speaking earlier on, things have to organically flow. And if you like Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, you're not going to want to miss the next one coming up. Because this individual, it was an ongoing competition. Who was the best? This guy or Ric Flair? And so the next podcast is going to be on the King of Wrestling, Harley Race.
Oh, yes. Yes, Harley. Oh, good pick. I love Harley Race, man. You're on a roll, dude.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
So,
I can hardly wait to do the research on that.
Well, I'm going to actually be sending it to you in about an hour because I've got that done too. Okay, so That's it for now. We're going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed this, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, keep the comments coming. We're starting to get some comments now. We like that. Share. Always nice to share. If you want to help with the channel, I'm going to put our Patreon link in the description as well. Otherwise, I guess we're done. Anything else, Rick?
No, just make comments. And like I said on our last podcast, if you have any suggestions for either wrestlers you want to see or feuds you want to see, you know what? We're always open to suggestions. Please throw them in the comments. Tell us what you'd like to see. If we can give you what you're looking for and what you want to see, this makes this channel and our podcast even more
intimate.
I was going to say more better. That's rotten English.
Which one said more?
I'll take what Donnie said. Yeah, what Donnie said. I got grammatically challenged there for a second.
One of those days, eh? All right.
It's one of those days today.
All right, Rick, thanks for coming by.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
And I will see you either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Later.
Time machine. Every clip's a backroom dream. From the past to the live stream glow. We rewind and we steal.